With the black pieces, we have Fabiano Caruana facing off against Levon Aronian. Levon is already out of winning the championship, and Fabiano only needs a draw to be able to win this. So let's see here what will happen. I mean, it's very easy for Fabi, but the thing is that if Wesley wins the game, they could enter tie breaks if tie breaks exist, or they're going to be bookles. But we're gonna have to see what happens here. E4 was played by Levon, and now Fabi goes for this E5. We have knight to F3, knight to C6, and bishop to B5. We go into the Ruy Lopez. It's gonna be a normal Ruy Lopez. Is it gonna be an open Ruy Lopez? Well, we're gonna have to see. Hey, just A6 was played, Morpheus defense, bishop to A4, and just knight to F6 and an immediate castles. This is the Columbus variation, and here just going for knight captures on E4 by Fabi. This is the open variation of the Ruy Lopez. You could have also gone for bishop to E7. This is a normal standard way. Rook to E1. You play B5, pushing the bishop back, castles. You play C3, making some room for your bishop. Knight to A5, bishop to C2, and D5, and hey, most likely that will be met with D4 only. So the game will go on most likely with D caps on E4. You can also play E caps on D4. Knight caps on E4 is also a possibility, but the game will go on hopefully towards a fighting end. But here after castles, knight caps on E4 was played, and now just comes D4, and here just bishop to E7, and here we have rook to E1, and now B5, just pushing the bishop back. But here rook captures on E4, and here D5. A lot of players are now playing the open line of this Ruy Lopez, and we saw, Divya play it, we saw Abhimanyu play it, and here in this position, the move, I think I've shown so many games on my channel, everyone should know it. The move is actually knight captures on E5. Obviously, you cannot take this, and here we have knight caps on E5, rook captures on E5, and just B caps on A4. This is the standard line. Everyone should know these 10 moves at least. And now here just going for B3, just developing the bishop, and also making some way of going for a quick draw. Here just castles was played, but now even comes this rook captures on E7, and here queen captures. We have bishop to A6 now, A3 now, and here after queen to G5, just bishop caps on F8. We have bishop to H3 first, an intermediate move basically, and a switch and so if you will. And here you can actually just if you move the bishop, obviously you can get mated, and obviously Levon is not that stupid. Here we have queen to F1, and just king caps on F8, knight to C3, A caps on B3, A captures, and here rook to E8. You could also, if you want to go and fight it out, here you could go for a move like F4, but after queen to G6, just play queen to F2, queen to C6 now, and here after knight to A4, the game goes on. After bishop to G4, you play queen to G3, queen to E6, and the thing is that it's basically a draw. A lot of the moves you can play here, you can play S3, you can play knight to C5, also go for a move like C3, that would be fine as well, but most likely this position should with perfect play and in a draw. But here after rook to E8, we have king to H1, and now just going for queen to D2, and here just knight captures on D5. We have bishop caps on G2, just going for a really nice line here, and after queen captures, rook to E1 check was played, rook captures, queen captures, and here just blocking with the queen. But here both of these plays actually go for a very quick draw. Surprisingly here with that, actually Fabi wins the US Chess Championship. But the thing is that it was so anticlimactic. I would actually like to show you one more game which actually ensured his victory, which is Wesley So against Gregory Oparin. That's Fabi's second. So Fabi again needed his second's help to be able to actually win the event. So this was a position Wesley had against Gregory Oparin, and here bishop to F8 was played by Gregory, and here just going for rook to F1, bishop to G7, and queen to F3. The thing is that almost looks equal, but Wesley has to push for a win, otherwise he's not going to win the US Chess Championship. And really, it's really difficult to be able to try and do anything in this position. Instead of queen to F3, you could have also gone for a move like F6, just push the bishop back. After bishop to E8, play E5. But the thing is that this also leads to a draw after H5, and the situation is that Wesley has like 7 points, and Fabi was also on 7 points, but Fabi was able to win the game against Abhimanyu, and with that and then draw against Levon gives him 7.5, and here Wesley is on 7. So if he wins this game, Fabi is on actually 8 after the draw, and now Wesley is on 7. He's gonna have to win this game to be able to force tie breaks. But here queen to C1, and now just comes rook to D3, rook to E1, and after queen to F2, maybe you can try to go after this line with knight to D6, bishop captures, and after E captures, queen captures. But still, there is not much you can try in this. Even if you go for queen to C5, just saving it, queen caps on D6, and it's a draw. There is nothing you can do. So here queen to F3 was played by Wesley, but after bishop to E5, we have F captures on G6, queen captures, and here just going for this knight to C3, and we have queen to G3 asking for a trade. If you go for a trade, it's a draw, no matter what you do. But surprisingly, Wesley did go for this trade. anything other than that, I think your position just gets worse. So I mean, you obviously don't want to do that. I mean, you can play king to g1, but that's, I mean, that's really not a good move. But hey, queen captures was played. We have bishop captures, knight to d5 now, and hits king to f8, rook to f3, and bishop to e5 was played. I mean, trying to force a win in this position. White is up a pawn, but it's just very difficult to try and do this. Hey, just rook to f5 was played. We have rook to e8, knight to b6, and bishop to c3, knight to d7 check, king to e7, and hey, knight to b6 was played. King to f8, and even just rook to c5, and we have bishop to b4, rook to c4, and f5, but just e5 pushing the pawn all the way. But the thing is that just king to f7 comes, knight to d5, and he's just going for rook caps on e5, finally grabbing it, but just knight caps on b4. A captures, rook captures, so you've created an outside pass pawn. Is it going to be enough to win the game? Well, we're just going to have to see. Rook to e3 was played, now just comes rook to b5, king to g6, a5, rook to a3, king to g1, king to g5, and after king to f2, just h5 was played. And the thing is that it's an open position. No matter what you do, you cannot win this. Hey, rook to c5, you try to go for rook to e2 check, king goes back, you go back in your hole. But even then, after h4 check, trying to just deflect the king, still king to g4, rook to c8, you play rook caps on a5, and if you go for rook to g8 check, obviously you cannot capture. If you capture this, then you just get checkmated. So after king to f4, you play rook to g5, and after rook to e1, you just capture that. Even then, it's a draw. But what happened here, after g3, rook to a2 check was played, and after king to f3, here rook to a3 check was played, king to f2, and here both players agreed to go for a draw after 60 moves. So with that, Fabi becomes the champion of US Chess Championship, and he has done this 4 times now in a row. That's absolutely spectacular. So a huge congratulations to him for winning this 8 out of 11. That's spectacular level of play, and he's really going higher and higher with every match, and he's playing that all of this to absolutely spectacular style. So he has had a spectacular tournament, winning against so many players, and even he would have won this way sooner if he had won against Wesley, but that didn't happen, and now he's winning this right after in the final round. So really a great performance by him. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with some of these amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for watching.